Can you talk a little bit about like just partnership? Because again, it seems like, for example, with the Major League Indoor Soccer team, it worked well because you can focus on the business side of things, and then you have the partner who can focus on like the athletes, the coaching, and kind of more of a like that side of things, almost like a sports team. If you think of basketball, you have the GM who's like the front office guy, and then you have the coach, and you guys can kind of work well together and make it work. Can you talk a little bit about that? Just because, and I think people. So one of my mentors, who he has like 4,000 apartment units worth over 300 million. He always says, I would rather have a portion of a watermelon as opposed to 100% of a grape. So something that's bigger, I'll take a portion of that as opposed to this small grape having owning 100% and being able to go out and say, hey, I own this thing and I own that thing, but the thing is not worth that much. But you feel like whether it's pride or ego, you can go out and brag and say, yeah, I own 100% of this thing. So can you kind of talk a little bit about the importance, especially when it makes sense to partner with different people who may have expertise in a particular area, such that you guys can really kind of scale and grow a company, and just kind of really optimize things as opposed to you trying to do everything on your own and maybe not as being successful. Because I'm pretty sure whether you're helping out with startups or you are doing your own thing with the Major League Soccer thing, it all
Mhm.
it's all kind of the same thing, and it plays a part as far as strategic partnerships to be able to really scale and grow and kind of really optimize the business or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, my role with a lot of these entrepreneurs, and including the three, we brought in. It's almost like the soccer team and the vodka company are siblings because we brought them in within 2 weeks of each other
Yeah,
into our program, which was kind of fun. And my business partner is. I'm a pretty risk averse guy. I like to really go down into the weeds and assess things. I'll do a lot of due diligence, and
right.
my philosophy is that if I'm investing in an idea, then I'm investing in a person because the product doesn't
Absolutely.
exist yet.
Yeah,
So, it's what's this person's ability to make, pay me back, or is there, do they have the acumen to do it, or am I gonna have to do it myself? If I'm gonna be holding their hand the whole time, I might as well just start my own company
yeah,
and,
for sure. Yeah,
and
yeah,
register the IP, and then there you go, and I'll license it out to somebody and
yeah.
make my revenue that way. So, you're investing in the entrepreneur more than anything. And thankfully I've got a business partner, Kyle. He was a bank executive for a long time. He gets how things work especially on the financial side of things when we're evaluating people and really kind of measuring the validity of an idea and trying to have that proof of concept. And I like to think of myself as a risk averse guy, but he's even more risk averse than I am.
Yeah.
So, we'll have a lot of back and forth about things, then he'll ask questions that I didn't even think of, where I'm like, "Yeah, man, I guess I didn't really look at that. Yeah, what is there? If we sign a convertible note, that becomes a personal liability. Well, I didn't run a credit check on you. So, am I gonna have to take your house, to pay it back? What are we gonna do? We're not here trying to make people homeless or ruin anybody's